Welcome to the Kitchen Remodel Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Robin Johnson, and I can't wait to chat with you about one of the most exciting topics ever, kitchen design, right? I mean, who doesn't dream of remodeling their kitchen? Friends, if you're looking to up-level the most important room in your home, I am so glad you're here. As an award-winning designer of over 20 years, kitchens are my absolute favorite room in the house. Join me to discover the latest design trends, color palettes, and what you should know when it comes to choosing a layout, cabinetry, appliances, and so much more. With hundreds of decisions to be made and thousands of dollars on the line, you won't want to miss an episode. Let's get started. Hey friends, welcome back to Kitchen Remodel Made Easy. It feels so good to be back with you. It's been a crazy few weeks, but a good kind of busy, the kind filled with new projects, beautiful spaces, and just a lot of excitement. So today I thought we'd catch up a bit and then dive into a project that I'm absolutely thrilled to be working on, the Freewoods Farm Project. This one is big, bold, coastal, and full of design inspiration that I think you're going to love. So let's start with a little life update, shall we? If you followed me for a while, you know that my husband and I have always had a soft spot for the tiny shrimping town or little village, actually, of McClellanville, which sits just outside of Charleston, South Carolina. It's one of those slow-paced, sleepy, low-country towns where time just kind of stands still in the best way. And we have rented a little weekend home down there for about 20 years now, and we even got married down there. So when we found out that the owners of the home that we'd been renting were going to be selling it, we thought, okay, it's time to, look for something of our own. So fast forward, we ended up finding our dream cottage. It's a charming little place that feels like it was made for us. And we kind of stumbled upon it by fate. I think we got a hold of it literally the day before it got put on MLS and made a full price offer. And, we closed like 4 weeks later. So it was kind of fast and furious, but so exciting. And I'll have to share some photos over on social media. I'm working on it now and I've been furnishing it and styling it and having the best time. It's definitely a work in progress, but I love the process. So happy to share that. So now, while all of that's been happening, I've also been designing one of the largest and most exciting projects I've ever worked on, which is a 12,000 square foot new construction home in Murrells Inlet for a wonderful family. And it's a coastal style home that honestly looks like it could sit right on the beach in the Bahamas. The main house is about 10,000 square feet, and then there's a 1,200 square foot pool house that's going to sit right next door. And get this, it has five, yes, five kitchens. There's the main kitchen, a scullery or backup kitchen, a garage apartment kitchenette, a pool house kitchen, and then a full-on outdoor entertaining kitchen. There's even going to be a pickleball court out back. So it's kind of crazy. And it's going to be really busy and fun, to say the least. So, even though this podcast is the Kitchen Remodel Made Easy podcast, kitchen design is still kitchen design, whether it's a remodel or brand new construction. So let's dive into how we approached this dream project. The main kitchen is about 15 by 28 feet, and it opens up into a sitting room, which makes the space feel even larger. There's a double-story vaulted ceiling over the kitchen portion with a beautiful triple window set and a center arched window that will flood the room with natural light. The layout of the kitchen is going to be a U shape with one large center island that's about 6.5 by 12 feet long. And the original plans actually had two islands in there, but we decided to combine them into one oversized multifunctional island instead. It just made more sense for flow and usability, and also how the ceiling heights are different. So I wanted it to all be kind of the kitchen in the kitchen zone. So my initial instinct was to put the range and the hood on the back wall right underneath those gorgeous windows. But we actually would have had to take out like the center window for the hood, to sit on the wall, and would have had to, I don't know, I guess eat up some of that light. And so the homeowners really love the window design. And so we shifted the range and hood to the wall on the left, which was the next largest area. And that made the right side of the kitchen perfect for a coffee and beverage zone center over there. So we've divided the kitchen into clear work zones. The left side, cooking and food prep. The right side, entertaining, snacks, and drinks. And then on that back wall with the stunning windows, there's going to be a 42-inch workstation kitchen sink, which sits right underneath that arch. So that's going to be really nice. All right, so let's talk about some of the appliances and tech upgrades we're doing. So, when it comes to appliances, I always encourage clients to pick their own. It's really a personal decision, and how you cook, how you live, and of course your budget all factor into that. For this project, we went all out. The client selected Wolf and Sub-Zero for everything in the main kitchen, and it will all be paneled to match the cabinetry. But there's one appliance that I'm really excited to test out, and that is something that I had to research and figure out for this project. They wanted a composter to work in the kitchen, that we needed something large enough that you don't have to empty out every day. And I was able to find the brand is spelled Geme, Geem, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's a BioSmart electric composter. It's about 19 liters. It's new to the market. They say it's the first electric composter that can turn food scraps into rich soil overnight. It even has a built-in deodorization system, and it runs super quiet. So what we're going to do is we're going to install it in a pull-out base cabinet. So it'll pull out like a trash drawer. And then hopefully there's like a touch sensor lid that will open. Hopefully all that will work correctly. So I can't wait to see how it performs. The unit costs around $900, but if it really works, it could be a game changer for sustainable kitchens. And you can put any and all food scraps in it. So curious to see how that works for the client. As far as style and finish in here, the look of this kitchen is going to be very much Bahama-coastal, airy, elegant, and relaxed. We're going to go with an off-white, almost, I don't want to say creamy, but off-white perimeter cabinet. And then the island's going to be some sort of shade of blue. Haven't picked that yet. And I've narrowed down backsplash options to two different shades of a blue tile. They really wanted to pull in some color versus doing like a slab backsplash. And so we're going to do some kind of blue tile on two of the walls, on the left and the right wall, on the coffee bar and on the cooking zone. But the space is so large, I also really feel like it needs texture and warmth. So we're going to be doing shiplap above the left and right wall, above the cabinetry, and then also shiplap on the rear wall around those windows. So I think that'll be a nice touch. One little hiccup that we ran into was dealing with wing walls. If you've never heard of wing walls, they're the short walls that end a cabinet run. A lot of times contractors will put those in. And we almost always remove them in remodels to help open up the space. And personally, if I'm walking into the side of a kitchen, I would rather see a pretty paneled cabinet in the countertop than a wing wall. But in this case, they're actually structurally necessary for the home. So we had to include them, and I'm probably going to be putting shiplap on them so that they feel intentional and cohesive in the space. We're also finalizing ceiling beams for that vaulted ceiling that I mentioned. Because the kitchen spans about 16 feet across, we can't run a single beam without some support. So we're exploring ways to shorten the span, maybe by raising the beam height a bit. And we want to center one of the beams over the island so that we can hang pendant lights from the beam and we'll have shorter chains. I don't like seeing all those chains going up, that tall in a big high ceiling like that. So we'll have to go with a faux wood beam to conceal the electrical wiring, and it'll be practical and pretty. Next up, kitchen number two is the scullery, which is going to be a secondary kitchen for this family. These clients love to entertain, so they really wanted a functional space for prep and cleanup away from the main kitchen. The original plan had a small-ish walk-in pantry, so we borrowed a few feet from the dining room to create an 8 by 12-foot scullery. And you'll never notice that the dining room is plenty big. The scullery is going to include double wall ovens, a sink, an ice maker, which is perfect for a space like this because they can be noisy sometimes. There's going to be two pull-out refrigeration drawers and, of course, a pull-out trash bin. We're going to be painting the cabinetry in here a navy blue, and the walls will feature a coastal blue and white wallpaper with white egrets, kind of on a linen background. It's stunning. And there'll be a mix of stacked open shelving and, of course, some wall sconces to give it a polished and open feel. Next, let's talk about the pool house kitchen because this space is going to be pure fun. The pool house has an open family game room run along the front of the house. And then on the back side, there's two bedrooms with a shared bath, a gym, and a sauna. The kitchen itself is designed mainly for snacks and drinks versus full cooking. So we skip the stove, and instead, there's going to be a full-size refrigerator, a sink, and a microwave drawer for popcorn or whatever else snacks you might want to warm up. Originally, the architect had drawn like an L-shaped kitchen with a peninsula, but I redesigned it with a single wall of cabinets and a big center island. And it really improves the flow and makes better use of space. When a crowd's there, you'll be able to walk around the island on two sides to access the kitchen, and you won't have those odd corners and cabinets that are hard to get to. We're going to be using KitchenAid appliances in here, along with a sharp microwave drawer. Then there's the garage apartment kitchen. This is number three, which will be more of a kitchenette. There's going to be a run of cabinets, a full-size refrigerator, and the basics, a sink, trash drawer, and this will be just really for coffee, drinks, and light meals, simple but stylish. And then lastly, there's the outdoor kitchen, which is going to be an absolute showstopper. Even though it's outside, it sits underneath a double-story open air cupola. So it's protected from the weather, but it's still bright and breezy. And we are going to be using a Canadian coastal inspired outdoor kitchen line where you can customize, your setup with modular pieces. And they have like a teak wood, kind of a slatted wood look to them on the outside. So they're very tropical feeling. The space will include a 40-inch grill, an under-counter LED refrigerator, a kegerator, because why not, and a pull-out trash can, and then tons of storage for dishes, utensils, spices, whatever you might need while you're outside grilling. And surrounding it all will be a stone fireplace, cozy seating, a large dining area, and a gorgeous pool. It's the ultimate entertaining space. So it's all in progress right now. Framing of the main house is pretty much complete. Right now, we're in the stages of walkthroughs with the plumber and the electrician to finalize rough-in before insulation and then drywall. And we're aiming for cabinet installation in December. And because we're going to be using laminate flooring, the order of operations is important. Cabinets first and laminate flooring next. Laminate can buckle under the weight of cabinetry if it's installed too early, so you always want to put down your cabinetry and then put in your flooring, which will run up to it and not go underneath it. I'm still working on tile for all the bathrooms, light fixtures throughout the house, paint colors, and of course, hardware, but it's all really coming together beautifully. So that's a peek behind the scenes of the Freewoods Farm Project, one of the most ambitious and rewarding builds I think I've worked on yet. I can't wait to share photos and progress updates with you. So if you're not already following me on social media, you should definitely do that. You'll get to see some of this home evolve step by step. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed hearing about what's been going on and maybe picked up a few kitchen design ideas along the way. Until next time, I'm Robin Johnson, and this has been the Kitchen Remodel Made Easy podcast. Talk soon. Thanks for tuning in to the Kitchen Remodel Made Easy podcast. If you want to continue the conversation or share your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you. Head over to my Instagram page at Robin Johnson Interiors and send me a DM. If you're curious how to get started on your own remodeling journey, well, I have a free resource for you that you can download called the Kitchen Remodel Starter Kit in the show notes below, or you can head to my website and grab it there on the front page. Friends, if you enjoyed today's podcast and you can't wait to hear more, please leave a raving review to help others find me. And if you didn't, well, don't worry about it. Have a great weekend, and I'll be back soon for more kitchen design conversations.